defeated him without even trying. It was a classic Stray Kids moment. Even Lino, who was initially suspected of not participating enough, was given his own special secret mission to spice things up. Meanwhile, Sungmin was on a stealth mission of his own, sneakily placing stickers on the other members. Did you spot all the stickers he managed to place? Let me know in the comments how many you found. Of course, a Stray Kids party isn't complete without some games. The members played a series of brain and mind games to win delicious food, including mussel soup and some amazing desserts. Let's be honest, their performance in these games was, well, let's just say it was entertainingly terrible. This led to some of the best moments of the episode, with lots of playful arguments, bickering, and some top-tier improv acting as they tried to justify their hilarious mistakes. It's this kind of natural, unscripted comedy that makes us love them so much. And can we talk about the Pepero game? The segment with Changbin and Hon was definitely a highlight that had fans everywhere talking. Now, this episode is just the beginning. Holiday House is a two-part special. Part 1, which we're talking about, was released on Sunday, December 21st. But get ready, because Part 2, Episode 90, is coming right up on Wednesday, December 24th, just in time for Christmas Eve. I can only imagine what kind of chaos they have planned for the second half. If you haven't seen it yet, what are you waiting for? You can watch the full episode on the official Stray Kids YouTube channel. They also included links to their single Do IT and its remixes in the description, so be sure to check that out and give it some love. It's the perfect soundtrack for this festive season. So, what was your favourite moment from Holiday House number 1? Was it IN's failed mission, Sungmin's sticker antics, or the absolute disaster that was their brain games? Share your thoughts down below. I'm so excited to see what part 2 brings. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. See you soon. Did you know that 99% of you watch my videos and then just leave? That's kind of sad, right? Especially since subscribing is totally free. So please do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest news and stories about Stray Kids. Now, let's get into some seriously exciting news that has Indian stays absolutely buzzing. Stray Kids leader, the one and only Bang Chan, just dropped a major bombshell about their latest comeback, Karma. And guess what? It involves Bollywood. In a recent episode of the web show Nopaji, Bang Chan and Hunjin sat down with Monster X's Shonu and NCT's. It was a really cool reunion, especially since Bang Chan and Shonu were once doormates during their trainee days. During their chat, the conversation turned to Stray Kids' signature musical style. Jungwoo described their music as having a certain spiciness, which is a pretty common take. But when he asked about their new single, Ceremony, Bang Chan had a different description. He called it an intoxicating taste, and Hyunjin added that it has a tipsy vibe, kind of like champagne and a party all rolled into one. But then, Bang Chan revealed the secret ingredients. He said it feels like being tipsy and having fun, but the genre they picked this time was Bollywood. That's right. He openly confirmed it, saying, "Yeah, I took inspiration from Indian music and tried it out. Since it had a new kind of color, I really wanted to try it. This is a huge deal, especially because fans often criticize artists for not crediting their sources of inspiration. But Bang Chan was completely upfront about it. He explained that when they first heard the demo for Ceremony, their reaction was something like, "Wait, this is Bollywood. Have we ever done Bollywood before? It's good though. Let's give it a try." And just like that, the track was born. He also explained the deep connection between the album's title and the lead single. The word karma itself comes from Sanskrit, an ancient language of India. Bang Chan said karma means consequences, and it carried the idea that all the effort and hardship we VA put in come back as good karma. So we hold a ceremony. What a beautiful concept, right? This isn't the first time Stray Kids have shown their love for Indian culture. Bang Chan has mentioned before that he had a lot of Indian friends back in Australia and loves the food. Felix has also shared his love for Indian spices and curry, and who could forget that viral moment when the popular Hindi TV show Anupama featured the CHK boom choreography. It's clear the love between Stray Kids and India is mutual. The new album, Karma, is their fourth studio album and features 11 tracks, all produced by the incredible Three Rapture, which consists of Bang Chan, Changbin, and Han. It's a follow-up to their hot mixtape and showcases yet another side of their amazing talent. What do you think about this Bollywood-inspired comeback? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Before we get into
The music video for Ceremony is out now on YouTube, and the full album is available on all major streaming platforms.
It really helps us out. All right, let's dive into the state of play in the 2025-26 Premier League season. After 22 matches, Arsenal are sitting pretty at the top of the table. The Gunners have been in phenomenal form, racking up 50 points from 15 wins, 5 draws, and only 2 losses. They've built a solid 7-point lead, but they can't afford to get complacent, especially with the pack chasing them. Speaking of the chasing pack, we have a tie for second place. Both Manchester City and Aston Villa are locked on 43 points. City, with 13 wins, have been their usual dominant self. But a few more losses than they'd like sees them trailing Arsenal. Aston Villa, under that current management, have been the surprise package of the season. Matching City's win tally with 13 victories of their own is a huge statement and has their fans dreaming of European nights. Just outside the top 3, Liverpool holds the 4th spot with 36 points. It's been a mixed bag for them with 10 wins, but they're still firmly in the hunt for a Champions League position. Right on their heels is Manchester United in 5th place with 35 points. They've been a tough team to beat, securing 8 draws, the second most in the top half of the table. Rounding out the top 6 is Chelsea, who are on 34 points. The LB, looking to string together a run of wins to climb higher and challenge for those coveted European spots. The mid-table is incredibly tight this year. Brentford, Newcastle United, and the newly promoted Sunderland are all tied on 30 points, sitting in 7th, 8th, and 9th place, respectively. What a fantastic return to the top flight for Everton follows closely behind in 10th with 32 points, and Fulham is just a point back in 11th with 31. This battle for a top-half finish is going to be fascinating to watch. In the bottom half, Brighton are 12th with 30 points, followed by Crystal Palace on 28. Then we have Tottenham and Bournemouth, both on 27 points. Spurs, in particular, will be disappointed to find themselves in the lower half of the table and will be desperate to improve. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's Premier League update, if you love football and want to stay on top of all the action, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It really helps us out. Alright, let's dive into the state of play in the 2025-26 Premier League season. After 22 matches, Arsenal are sitting pretty at the top of the table. The Gunners have been in phenomenal form, racking up 50 points from 15 wins, 5 draws, and only 2 losses. They've built a solid 7-point lead, but they can't afford to get complacent, especially with the pack chasing them. Speaking of the chasing pack, we have a tie for second place. Both Manchester City and Aston Villa are locked on 43 points. City, with 13 wins, have been their usual dominant self. But a few more losses than they'd like sees them trailing Arsenal. Aston Villa, under their current management, have been the surprise package of the season, matching City's win tally with 13 victories of their own is a huge statement and has their fans dreaming of European nights. Just outside the top 3, Liverpool holds the 4th spot with 36 points. It's been a mixed bag for them with 10 wins, but they're still firmly in the hunt for a Champions League position. Right on their heels is Manchester United in 5th place with 35 points. They've been a tough team to beat, securing 8 draws, the second most in the top half of the table. Rounding out the top 6 is Chelsea, who are on 34 points. They'll be looking to string together a run of wins to climb higher and challenge for those coveted European spots. The mid-table is incredibly tight this year. Brentford, Newcastle United, and the newly promoted Sunderland are all tied on 33 points, sitting in 7th, 8th, and 9th place, respectively. What a fantastic return to the top flight for Everton follows closely behind in 10th with 32 points, and Fulham is just a point back in 11th with 31. This battle for a top-half finish is going to be fascinating to watch. In the bottom half, Brighton are 12th with 30 points, followed by Crystal Palace on 28. Then we have Tottenham and Bournemouth, both on 27 points. Spurs, in particular, will be disappointed to find themselves in the lower half of the table and will be desperate to improve their form. Leeds United is in 16th with 25 points, giving themselves a bit of a cushion from the drop zone. However, things are looking tense at the bottom. Nottingham Forest is just above the relegation zone in 17th with 22 points. The first team in the drop zone is West Ham United, who are struggling in 18th place with just 17 points. Burnley is 19th with 14 points, and at the very bottom, it's been a truly difficult season for Wolverhampton, who have managed only 1 win and have just 8 points so far. Now, let's look ahead to the exciting fixtures for match week 23. The action kicks off on Saturday, January 24th. West Ham hosts Sunderland. In the early match, later, we have a series of games, including Burnley taking on Tottenham and Fulham facing hosting Brighton. A key match to watch will be Manchester City versus Wolverhampton. City will be expecting a comfortable win at home to keep the pressure on Arsenal, while Wolves will be fighting for their Premier League lives. The late game on Saturday sees Bournemouth play against Liverpool. Then on Sunday, January 25th, the drama continues. Brentford will play Nottingham Forest. Crystal Palace takes on Chelsea. And Newcastle United faces a massive test against high-flying Aston Villa. But the main event, the one everyone will be watching, is the heavyweight clash between Arsenal and Manchester United. This is a huge game for both clubs. A win for Arsenal would solidify their title credentials, while a victory for Manchester United could propel them right back into the top four conversation. It's a classic rivalry with so much at stake. That's your complete rundown of the Premier League as we head into match week 23. The title race, the fight for Europe, and the battle for survival are all heating up. Which match are you most excited for? Let me know your predictions in the channel. Before we get into today's Premier League update, if you love football and want to stay on top of all the action, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It really helps us out. Alright, let's dive into the state of play in the 2025-26 Premier League season. After 22 matches, Arsenal are sitting pretty at the top of the table. The Gunners have been in phenomenal form, racking up 50 points from 15 wins, 5 draws, and only 2 losses. They've built a solid 7-point lead, but they can't afford to get complacent, especially with the pack chasing them. Speaking of the chasing pack, we have a tie for second place. Both Manchester City and Aston Villa are locked on 43 points. City, with 13 wins, have been their usual dominant self. But a few more losses than they'd like sees them trailing Arsenal. Aston Villa, under their current management, have been the surprise package of the season. Matching City's win tally with 13 victories on their own is a huge statement and has their fans dreaming of European nights. Just outside the top 3, Liverpool holds the 4th spot with 36 points. It's been a mixed bag for them with 10 wins, but they're still firmly in the hunt for a Champions League position. Right on the heels is Manchester United in 5th place with 35 points. They've been a tough team to beat, securing 8 draws, the second most in the top half of the table. Rounding out the top 6 is Chelsea, who are on 34 points. They'll be looking to string together a run of wins to climb higher and challenge for those coveted European spots. The mid-table is incredibly tight this year. Brentford, Newcastle United, and the newly promoted Sunderland are all tied on 33 points, sitting in 7th, 8th, and 9th place respectively. What a fantastic return to the top flight for Everton follows closely behind in 10th with 32 points, and Fulham is just a point back in 11th with 31. This battle for a top-half finish is going to be fascinating to watch. In the bottom half, Brighton are 12th with 30 points, followed by Crystal Palace on 28. Then we have Tottenham and Bournemouth, both on 27 points. Spurs, in particular, will be disappointed to find themselves in the lower half of the table and will be desperate to improve their form. Leeds United is in 16th with 25 points, giving themselves a bit of a cushion from the drop zone. However, things are looking tense at the bottom. Nottingham Forest is just above the relegation zone in 17th with 22 points. The first team in the drop zone is West Ham United, who are struggling in 18th place with just 17 points. Burnley is 19th with 14 points. And at the very bottom, it's been a truly difficult season for Wolverhampton, who have managed only 1 win and have just 8 points so far. Now, let's look ahead to the exciting fixtures for match week 23. The action kicks off on Saturday, January 24th, West Ham hosts Sunderland in the early match. Later, we have a series of games, including Burnley taking on Tottenham and Fulham facing Brighton. A key match to watch will be Manchester City versus Wolverhampton. City will be expecting a comfortable win at home to keep the pressure on Arsenal, while Wolves will be fighting for their Premier League lives. The late game on Saturday sees Bournemouth play against Liverpool. Then on Sunday, January 25th, the drama continues. Brentford will play Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace takes on Chelsea, and Newcastle United faces a massive test against high-flying Aston Villa. But the main event, the one everyone will be watching, is the heavyweight clash between Arsenal and Manchester United. This is a huge game for both clubs. A win for Arsenal would solidify their title credentials, while a victory for Manchester United could propel them right back into the top four conversation. It's a classic rivalry with so much at stake. That's your complete rundown of the Premier League as we head into match week 23. The title race, the fight for Europe, and the battle for survival are all heating up. Which match are you most excited for? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. What a night in Istanbul! Aston Villa have done it again, securing a massive 1-0 victory over Fenerbahce in the UEFA Europa League. This win doesn't just give them bragging rights. It officially punches their ticket to the last 16 of the competition. Let's break down all the action from a truly electric night of football. The atmosphere at the Care Sarıkaklı Stadium was absolutely incredible. But it was Villa who silenced the home crowd early on. The decisive moment came in the 25th minute. A beautifully whipped-in cross found its way into the box. And who was there to beat it? None other than Jadon Sancho, who rose highest to plant a powerful header into the back of the net. A classic striker's finish, and just what Villa needed to take control of the game away from home. 1-0 to the visitors, and the Villa faithful went wild. From there, the match was a real battle. It was end-to-end stuff, full of drama and controversy. Both sides actually found the net again, but VAR played a huge role in keeping the scoreline at 1-0. Villa thought they might have doubled their lead at one point, only for the goal to be chalked off after a review. Then, in the second half, Fenerbahce fans erupted, thinking they had finally found their equalizer. But their celebrations were cut short. The referee was called over to the monitor, and after a tense wait, the goal was disallowed, leaving the home side frustrated Villa breathing a huge sigh of relief. This victory is significant for so many reasons. Not only does it guarantee Villa's progression in Europe, but it also shatters Fenerbahce's impressive unbeaten home record in the competition this season. The Turkish Giants had turned their stadium into a fortress, but Unai Emery's squad arrived with a game plan and executed it to perfection. They were disciplined in defense, clinical when their chance came, and managed the game brilliantly under immense pressure. It was a mature, professional, European performance that shows just how far this team has come. Looking at the history between these two clubs, it's clear that Aston Villa have had Fenerbahce's number. This result continues a perfect record for Villa in their European encounters against the Turkish side. That's now 3 meetings and 3 wins for Aston Villa. It's a remarkable statistic that highlights their dominance in this particular fixture. For Fenerbahce, it's a tough pill to swallow as they once again fall short against their English rivals. They'll have to regroup and focus on their domestic campaign, while Villa marches on in Europe, full of confidence. So, what does this mean for Aston Villa moving forward? Securing a spot in the last 16 this early is a massive boost. It allows them to potentially rotate their squad in the remaining group stage matches and keep key players fresh for the Premier League campaign. Unai Emery, a true master of European competitions, will be absolutely delighted with his team's performance. They faced a hostile environment, a tough opponent, and came away with a clean sheet and all 3 points. Jadon Sancho will rightly grab the headlines for his match-winning goal, but this was a true team effort from the goalkeeper to the forwards. What a result for the villains. They continue their European adventure, and the dream is well and truly alive. Where do you think Villa can go in this competition? Can they go all the way? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It was an unforgettable night, and the journey is far from over. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more football content. Up! Big. Bija. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into today's massive fixture, I've noticed something interesting. A huge number of you who watch these videos are not subscribed yet. If you're enjoying the content and want to stay up to date with all the latest football headlines and analysis, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button right now. It takes just a second and really helps the channel grow. Thanks a bunch. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest rivalries in English football. Arsenal versus Manchester United. The next chapter is set for Sunday, January 25th, 2026 at the Emirates Stadium. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. East Africa time, which is 4:30 p.m. UTC. This is a match you won't want to miss. The stakes are incredibly high. Arsenal are flying high, sitting pretty at the top of the Premier League table. They're the team to beat right now. Meanwhile, Manchester United are in a respectable 5th position, but they'll be desperate to close the gap and prove they can challenge the league leaders. A trip to the Emirates is a massive test for them. Let's look at how things have played out recently between these two giants. This season, Arsenal has definitely had the upper hand. Back on August 17th, the Gunners traveled to Old Trafford and secured a crucial 1-2-0 away win in the Premier League. That result really set the tone for their campaign. Then, looking back at the previous season, on March 9th, the two sides fought to a 1-1 draw at Old Trafford. It was a tight affair, showing just how evenly matched they can be on their day. Earlier that year, on January 12th, they met in the FA Cup at the That match also ended 1-1, but it was Manchester United who progressed after a tense penalty shootout. A heartbreaking moment for the home fans. And before that, on December 4th, Arsenal claimed a comfortable 2-0 home win in the league. So, while Arsenal has dominated the recent Premier League encounters, United has shown they can get a result, especially in cup competitions. What's really telling is Arsenal's current unbeaten streak against United, which stands at an impressive 7 games across all competitions. That's a huge psychological advantage for the Gunners heading into this match. Now, if we zoom out and look at the all-time head-to-head record, this story is a bit different. This rivalry has a long and storied history. They've met a staggering 245 times. Manchester United holds a slight edge overall with 99 wins, 2 Arsenals, 91, and there have been 55 draws. This just goes to show the historical weight behind this fixture. Every match adds another layer to this epic saga. Let's turn to the team news, because that could be a deciding factor. Manchester United has seen a recent change in the dugout. Michael Carrick has been appointed as interim manager, and he's already made an impact. He kicked off his tenure with a massive and much-needed win against their city rivals, Manchester City. That victory will have injected a huge dose of confidence and belief back into the squad. Carrick will be looking to build on that momentum and make a statement against the league leaders. On the other side, Arsenal's incredible form is being tested by some significant injury concerns. They're currently without several key players. The absence of rising star Max Doman is a blow. And they're also missing defensive stalwart Spiro Hincapié and Ricardo Calafiori. Managing these injuries and rotating the squad effectively will be a major challenge for the Arsenal manager. It puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the team to step up and maintain their high standards. So, what's the prediction? It's incredibly tough to call. You have Arsenal, the league leaders, playing at home with a fantastic recent record against United, but they're dealing with key injuries. Then you have Manchester United, a team with a point to prove under a new interim manager, buoyed by a huge... Or will Carrick's revitalized United pull off an upset on the road? This match has all the ingredients of a classic top-of-the-table clashes. Historical rivalry, new manager bounce, and injury crises. It's what the Premier League is all about. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Let me know your score predictions in the comments below. Who do you think will come out on top and why? Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more exclusive content. We'll see you in the next one. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Get ready, because one of the biggest fixtures in the football calendar is just around the corner. That's right, it's the Manchester Derby. On Saturday, absolutely electric. This derby has a rich history of dramatic moments and intense battles, and the recent history is no exception. Looking back at the last 6 Premier League meetings, it's been a real roller. City have had the upper hand recently, with a convincing back in October 2023, another Trace -1 victory at the Etihad in March 2024, and a dominant 3-0 home win this season on September 14th. There was also a tense goalless draw at Old Trafford in April of 20. Seems City have had United-esque number in the last few encounters, but, and this is a big but, for all you United fans out there, don't forget the moments of magic your team has produced. We've seen Manchester United pull off incredible 2-1 comeback victories against their noisy neighbors twice in recent memory. They were packed with late-game drama that left fans breathless. Let's rewind to January 14th, 2023, at a roaring Old Trafford. City looked to be in control when Jack Grealish put them ahead, but United, fueled by the home crowd, staged a stunning turnaround. First, Bruno Fernandes scored a highly debated, controversial equalizer that got everyone talking. Then, just 4 minutes later, Marcus Rashford, the hometown hero, found the back of the net to seal a famous 2-1 victory. The scenes in the stadium were unforgettable. A classic derby comeback. Fast forward to December 5th, 2024. This time at the Etihad Stadium. It looked like City's game. Josko Gvardiol had given them. It seemed like another routine home win. But United refused to give up. In the 88th minute, they were awarded a penalty. And who else but Bruno Fernandes stepped up to calmly slot it home, making it 1-1. The away end went wild, but the drama wasn't over. In the 90th minute, in a moment of pure inspiration, Amad Diallo scored a sensational winner, snatching all 3 points and silencing the end. It was another incredible 2-1 comeback, proving that in this fixture, anything can happen. These 2 victories show that even when City seemed to be the dominant force, Manchester United have the spirit and the quality to produce shock results. They've proven they can go toe-to-toe with City and come out on top, especially with those dramatic late winners. They know how to hurt their rivals and thrive on that underdog status. So, what does this all mean for the upcoming clash on January 7th? Will City's recent dominance continue? And will they assert their authority once again at Old Trafford? Or will Manchester United channel the spirit of those famous comeback wins? Will we see another moment of individual brilliance, a tactical masterclass, or a controversial decision that swings the game? That's the beauty of the Manchester Derby. It's completely unpredictable. Will the Theatre of Dreams become a fortress for United? Or will City paint the town blue once more? It's a classic battle of tactics, passion, and city pride. One thing is for sure. It's a match you won't want to miss. Drop your predictions in the comments below. Who do you think will come out on top, and what will the score be? I can't wait to read what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this preview, and subscribe for more football content. See you in the next one.
Get ready for a massive London derby as Chelsea and Arsenal are set to clash in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. It's all happening today, Wednesday, January 14th, 2026, with kickoff at 8 p.m. UK time at Stamford Bridge. This is one of those fixtures that always delivers drama. And with a place in a cup final on the line, the stakes couldn't be higher. Let's dive straight into the recent form because it tells a fascinating story. Arsenal fans, you'll love this. The team is currently on a 9-game unbeaten streak against Chelsea across all competitions. That's right, 9 games without a loss, featuring 5 wins and 4 draws. It's been a period of dominance for the Gunners in this fixture. In fact, you have to go all the way back to August 2018 for Chelsea its last home against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. That's a long, long time in football. Looking at the last few head-to-heads, the trend continues. In their last 5 meetings, Arsenal have secured 2 wins and 3 draws. Remember that incredible 5-0 thrashing back in April 2024? Or the 3-1 win in May 2023? Even the draws like the 2-2 thriller in October 2023 have been packed with action. The most recent result was a tight 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge just a couple of months ago. In November 2025, it seems Mikel Arteta really has Mauricio Pochettino's number in these recent encounters. If we zoom out and look at the all-time record, it's Arsenal who hold the historical bragging rights. Across 212 total meetings, Arsenal had 84 wins to Chelsea's 66, with 62 matches ending in a draw. It's a rivalry with a deep and rich history, and the Gunners have the edge. However, Chelsea fans don't lose hope just yet. There's a very interesting twist when we look specifically at the Carabao Cup. In this competition, the tables are turned. Chelsea have a much better record against Arsenal, winning 4 of their 6 previous League Cup encounters. It seems the Blues know how to get the job done when it comes to this particular trophy. This semi-final is the perfect stage for them to prove that this competition is their territory and to finally break that 9-game winless streak against their London rivals. Now, let's talk team news, which could play a huge role in the outcome. Chelsea have some significant worries. They will be without the influential midfielder Moises Caicedo, who is serving a suspension. That's a massive blow to their engine room. On top of that, there are major doubts over the fitness of captain Reece James and the creative force Cole Palmer. If both of them are out, it will seriously hamper Chelsea's ability to create chances and defend their right flank. Pochettino will have some big decisions to make. Over at Arsenal, things aren't perfect either. There are fitness concerns for 2 key players, William Saliba and Leandro Trossard. Both of them missed the FA Cup match over the weekend, and their availability for this crucial semi-final is uncertain. Saliba is the rock at the heart of their defense, and Trossard provides that spark of unpredictability in attack. Their absence would be a big miss for Arteta's side. On a positive note, Kai Havertz is available after his own recent concerns, but it's likely his minutes will be carefully managed as he returns to full fitness. So what can we expect? It's a classic clash of narratives. You have Arsenal, the team in dominant form in this fixture, looking to extend their unbeaten run and take a firm grip on the tie. They'll be confident, organized, and eager to press their advantage. Then you have Chelsea playing at home, wounded by recent results against their rivals, but with a strong history in this specific competition. They'll be desperate to land a blow, to prove a point, and to give their fans something to cheer about at Stamford Bridge. This first leg is all about setting the tone. Will Arsenal's recent dominance continue, or will Chelsea's Carabao Cup magic finally break the curse? It's a tactical battle between Arteta and Pochettino, a test of squad depth with key players missing, and a fiery London derby with a final at Wembley on the line. I cannot wait for this one. Who do you think will win? Will Chelsea finally get a victory over Arsenal, or will the Gunners march on? Let me know your score predictions in the comments below. It's going to be an absolutely epic night of football. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this preview, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more football content. See you next time.
Welcome back, football fans, to another thrilling week of Premier League action. We've officially crossed the halfway point of the season, and match day 20 is set to deliver some absolute blockbusters. The title race, the European spots, and the relegation battle are all heating up, and every single point is crucial from here on out. So, let's dive right into the fixtures and see what drama awaits us. Kicking things off, we have a fascinating clash as Chelsea host Fulham at Stamford Bridge. This West London derby is always feisty. Chelsea are desperate to find some consistency and climb the table, while Fulham, under Marco Silva, have proven they can upset anyone on their day. Will Pochettino's Blues get the job done at home, or can the Cottagers spring a surprise? It's a classic derby with everything to play for. Next up, a crucial game at the bottom of the table as Burnley welcome Luton Town to Turf Moor. This is the definition of a relegation six. Both teams know that a victory here could be a massive step towards survival. Vincent Kompany's Burnley need to start turning their possession-based style into results, while Rob Edwards' Luton have shown incredible fight and spirit. Expect a tense, hard-fought battle where every tackle and every chance will matter immensely. This is pure Premier League drama. Saturday evening gives us a heavyweight contest at St. James Park as Newcastle United face the reigning champions, Manchester City. Newcastle have had a tough run with injuries, but their home form is still formidable with that incredible atmosphere. City, on the other hand, are hitting their stride with key players returning. Can Eddie Howe's Magpies derail the City machine, or will Pep Guardiola's side continue their relentless march? This one has goals written all over it. Moving on to Sunday, Everton take on Aston Villa at Goodison Park. Sean Dyche has transformed Everton into a resilient, hard-to-beat unit, and they'll be fired up in front of the home crowd. But they're up against Unai Emery's Aston Villa, who have been one of the standout teams of the season. Villa's high line and blistering counterattacks are a threat to any team. This promises to be a tactical battle between two very smart managers. And finally, the standout fixture of the weekend. A massive clash at Old Trafford as Manchester United go head-to-head with Tottenham Hotspur. Both clubs are in a transitional phase, but have huge ambitions. Everton Heads United are looking for a spark to ignite their season, while Ange Postecoglou's Spurs have captivated everyone with their attacking front foot football, with two managers committed to their philosophies. This could be an end-to-end thriller. It's a game that could have huge implications for the top four race. What a weekend of football we have in store. Every match has a story. Every point is vital. From title contenders to relegation battlers, the pressure is on. I want to know your predictions. Who do you think will come out on top in these massive games? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'll now be back to review all the action and see who the big winners and losers were. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you enjoyed this preview, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Enjoy the matches, and I'll see you on the other side. What a whirlwind match day 19 was in La Liga. Let's kick things off with a quick recap before diving into what's next. The action started with Rayo Vallecano and Getafe battling to a 1-1 draw. Then, Celta Vigo put on a show, thrashing Valencia 4-1. Osasuna and Athletic Club couldn't be separated, finishing 1. Villarreal took care of business with a 3-1 win over Elche. And in the Catalan derby, Barcelona secured a solid 2-0 victory against Espanyol. Sunday brought even more drama. Levante surprised everyone with a stunning 3-0 win away. Real Madrid were absolutely dominant, cruising to a 5-1 victory over Real Betis Alaves. And Real Oviedo shared the points in a 1-1 draw. Girona grabbed a crucial away win, beating Real Mallorca 2-1. And the day wrapped up with a tense 1-1 draw between Real Sociedad and Atletico Madrid. What a round of football. Now, let's look ahead because the excitement doesn't stop. Match day 20 is right around the corner. On Friday, January 9th, get-go hosts. Saturday the 10th is packed with action. Real Oviedo versus Real Betis. Villarreal versus Alaves. Girona versus Osasuna. And Valencia looking to bounce back against Elche. Sunday, January 11th, sees Rayo Vallecano take on Real Madrid, followed by Levante versus Espanyol. The match day concludes on Monday the 12th with a fascinating clash between Sevilla and Celta Vigo. But wait, there's more. Let's fast forward to match day 21. Friday, January 16th, kicks off with Espanyol against Saturday the 17th is a big one. Real Madrid faces Levante. Real Mallorca plays Athletic Club. Osasuna takes on Real and Real Betis clashes. The action continues on Sunday the 18th with 4 more games. Getafe versus Valencia. A huge match between Atletico Madrid and Celta Vigo against Rayo Vallecano. And the match of the weekend, Real Sociedad hosting Barcelona. That's a potential title decider right there. The round finishes on Monday, January 19th, as Elche plays Sevilla. And just to get you even more hyped, let's peek at match day 22. It starts on Friday, January 23rd, with Levante versus Elche. Saturday the 24th has Rayo Vallecano versus Osasuna. Valencia versus Sevilla versus Athletic Club. And a massive showdown between Villarreal and Real Madrid. Then, on Sunday the 25th, Atletico Madrid faces Real Mallorca. Barcelona takes on Real Oviedo. Real Sociedad plays Celta Vigo. And Alaves goes up against Real Betis. Finally, the match day concludes on Monday the 26th with Girona versus So many incredible matches to look forward to in La Liga this January. The title race, the fight for European spots, and the battle to avoid relegation are all heating up. Which games are you most excited for? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. What a match we have on our hands. Folks, Liverpool versus Arsenal. A clash of titans that almost always guarantees fireworks. And this time was no exception. It's one of those fixtures you circle on your calendar the moment the schedule comes out. And boy, did it deliver. The atmosphere at Anfield was absolutely electric. You could feel the tension and the excitement buzzing right through the screen. From the very first whistle, both teams came out swinging, looking to assert their dominance. Arsenal, with their slick, possession-based football, trying to control the tempo Early on, you could see Arteta's philosophy in every pass, building from the back, looking for those clever pockets of space. They were patient, probing, and trying to unlock that famously resilient Liverpool defense. On the other hand, you have Liverpool Klopp's heavy metal football in full effect. The moment they won the ball back, it was instant pressure. A blur of red shirts flying forward, putting the Arsenal backline under immense stress. The key battles were all over the pitch. In midfield, it was a tactical chess match. Who would win the second balls? Who could break the lines with a decisive pass? And up front, the strikers from both sides were a constant threat. Their movement sharp and their instincts on high alert. There were some heart-and-mouth moments for both sets of fans, with chances being created at either end. A shot whistles just past the post here. A world-class save there. It was end-to-end action. One of the standout moments has to be the opening goal. The build-up play was just exquisite. A perfect example of what makes this sport the beautiful game. The finish was clinical, leaving the keeper with absolutely no chance. But, as we all know, a goal can completely change the dynamic of a match. The response from the other team was immediate and fierce. They didn't let their heads drop. They dug deep. And you could see the determination to get back into the game. Ultimately, it was a contest decided by fine margins, a moment of individual brilliance or a slight lapse in concentration. Both managers will have plenty to analyze, positives to take, and areas to improve upon. For UASAS fans, it was an absolute treat, a showcase of Premier League football at its very best. These are the games we live for. What did you think of the match? Let me know your key takeaways in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more football analysis. Thanks for watching. Hello football fans, and welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you here for another exciting preview. I've noticed a lot of you enjoy the content, but forget to subscribe. If you could just take 1 second to hit that like button and subscribe. It would mean the world to me and help the channel grow with more football news just like this. Thank you so much for that. Now, let's dive into the main event. The highly anticipated London Derby between Fulham and Chelsea. The match is set to kick off today, January 7th, 2026 at 19:30. GMT, this is always a fiery encounter. And recent history suggests we could be in for another. Looking back at their recent head-to-head clashes, there's a fascinating pattern. The 2-1 scoreline has popped up quite a few times, adding an extra layer of intrigue to tonight's game. For instance, just last season, in April 2025, Chelsea managed to secure a crucial 2-1 victory away at Craven Cottage. That was a tense match, with Chelsea just edging it. But don't think it's been all one-way traffic. In a surprising turn of events, on Boxing Day 2024, it was Fulham who triumphed at Stamford Bridge with that very same 2-1 scoreline. What a result that was. It really shows that in this derby, anything can happen. And home advantage doesn't always guarantee a win. It proves Fulham knows how to get the result against their big-name rivals, even on their own turf. Going back a bit further, in August 2025, at the start of this season, Chelsea got the better of Fulham at home, winning those -0. If we look at the fixture from October 2023, Chelsea also won 2-0 at Craven Cottage. So, while Chelsea has had the upper hand in a couple of recent games, Fulham's victory at the Bridge shows they are more than capable of causing an upset. So, what does all this tell us about tonight's match? Well, it tells us to expect goals and high drama. Chelsea will be looking to assert their dominance their passionate home crowd at Craven Cottage will be desperate to repeat their previous heroics. Both teams have shown they can score against each other, and both have shown they can win. The 2-1 scoreline seems to be a recurring theme, and I wouldn't be surprised to see another close game decided by a single goal. What are your predictions for the match? Are we going to see another 2-1 thriller? And if so, who do you think will come out on top this time? Will it be Fulham pulling off another memorable win at home, or will Chelsea's quality shine through? Drop your score predictions in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what y'all think. That's all for this preview. Thanks again for watching and for your amazing support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our post-match analysis. Enjoy the game, and I'll catch you in the next one.
What a day. What a game. Ten Hag's era at Manchester United kicks off with a bang. A massive 4-0 win against Liverpool in this pre-season friendly in Bangkok. I mean, who saw that coming? It's only pre-season, I know, but a win is a win, and a win like this against our biggest rivals, you just have to love it. Let's break it down. United looked sharp, energetic, and surprisingly organised right from the start. Jadon Sancho opened the scoring, pouncing on a mistake in the Liverpool defence. He looked confident, taking his chance really well. It's exactly the kind of start we wanted to see from him this season. Then, Fred, oh my word, that chip, a beautiful, audacious chip over Alisson from the edge of the box. It was pure class. We've seen flashes of this from Fred before, but to pull it off so calmly was just brilliant. It really got the crowd going, and you could see the confidence flowing through the team. Just a few minutes later, Anthony Martial made it 3. He capitalised on another defensive error, raced through on goal, and dinked it over the keeper. It's a massive goal for him. A lot of us thought his time at United might be over, but he's come back looking hungry and sharp. If Ten Hag can get Martial back to his best, that's like a new signing for us. He looked really motivated out there. The second half saw a lot of changes from both sides, as you'd expect in pre-season. Liverpool brought on their big guns, Salah, Van Dijk, Nunes, and they definitely put us under more pressure. But our defence, even with the youngsters, held firm. Tom Heaton made a couple of great saves, and it was great to see some of the academy lads getting a run out. And then, to cap it all off, Facundo Pellistri gets on the score sheet. A brilliant counter-attack, slick passing between Ahmed and Eric Bailey of all people, who went on a marauding run forward. Bailey squares it to Pellistri, who coolly slots it home for 0. Unbelievable. It was a fantastic team goal and a great moment for the young Uruguayan. So, what can we take from this? Well, it's early days. It's pre-season. We shouldn't get too carried away. Liverpool fielded a much weaker side in the first half, and the result doesn't count for any points. But you can't deny the positives. The pressing looked more coordinated, the players looked fitter, and there was a real attacking intent. Ten Hag's philosophy seems to be rubbing off on them already. It's about building confidence and momentum, and this result does exactly that. For the first time in a long time, there's a real sense of optimism around the club. It's just one game, but it's a massive step in the right direction. It's It's exciting to think about what this team could do under the new manager. What did you guys think of the game? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Who was your man of the match? For me, it's a tough one, but I think Marshall just edges it. Great to see him back with a goal and a smile. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more United content. Catch you in the next one.
Breaking news from Old Trafford. Manchester United have sacked Ruben Amorim after just 14 months in charge. The final straw was Sunday's 1-1 draw against Leeds United, which leaves the club sitting 6th in the Premier League. Former midfielder and current under-18s coach Darren Fletcher will step in as interim manager, starting with the trip to Burnley this Wednesday. A permanent replacement isn't expected until the summer. So what went wrong? It seems a complete breakdown in relationships behind the scenes was the key factor. The club officially stated the decision was made reluctantly because it's the right time to make a change to salvage the season. But the writing was on the wall. After the Leeds game, Amorim himself hinted at the tension. He made a point of calling himself the manager, not the coach, a clear jab at the new structure brought in by Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS. He even said, "It's going to be like this for 18 months or when the board decide to change. I'm not going to quit." Well, the board decided. Amorim's exit will be a costly one for United. He signed a contract until 2027 with no discounted exit clause, meaning the club will have to pay him out in full. This adds to the more than £50 million United have spent just on firing managers since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. A big point of contention was Amorim's rigid preference for a 3-4-3 formation. Despite spending over £200 million on new signings like Benjamin Sesko, Brian Mumo, and Matheus Cunha, there was frustration that he couldn't get the players he needed for his system. Reports suggest that Director of Football Jason Wilcox had discussions with Amorim about his tactical choices. What was once a strong relationship clearly soured. Amorim felt his authority was being undermined, while the hierarchy, including Ratcliffe, saw it as necessary dialogue. This drama didn't just appear overnight. This whole situation raises serious questions about the INEOS project at Manchester United. Ratcliffe had previously said Amorim would get 3 years to prove himself. That was less than 3 months ago. They knew about his tactical philosophy when they hired him. In fact, concerns about his 3-4-3 system were raised before he was even appointed, with then sporting director Dan Ashworth suggesting other candidates. But they went with Amorim, and now just 14 months and £250 million in transfers later, they've pulled the plug. Ratcliffe had insisted that INEOS would decide the style of play, and the coach would have to adapt. They hired a coach with a very specific fixed system, backed him, and now have been forced to admit it was a mistake. Amorim stuck to his path, and it cost him his job. Now, almost 2 years into the INEOS era, the big question is, what path will Manchester United take next? It's another turbulent chapter for a club still searching for stability. What are your thoughts on this? Was sacking Amorim the right call? Who should be the next permanent manager at Old Trafford? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. And if you want to stay updated on all things football, make sure to subscribe.
What a game! What a result! Manchester City pulling off a massive 3-1 victory against Chelsea. An absolutely dominant performance. But as everyone done, we're going to break it all down. From the key moments and tactical masterstrokes to the standout players who really shone today. But before we dive in, I've noticed a lot of you enjoy these breakdowns, but forget to hit that subscribe button. It only takes a second, and it makes a huge difference for the channel. So go on, give it a click, and let's get into the action. The first half kicked off with an incredible intensity. City immediately set the tempo, pressing high and not giving Chelsea a moment's rest. On the ball, you could see the game plan from the get-go. Control the midfield, stretch their defense, and exploit their spaces. And it didn't take long for that pressure to pay off. That opening goal was a thing of beauty. The build-up play was just exquisite. A series of quick, incisive passes that completely sliced through the Chelsea back. It was a classic City goal, a testament to their chemistry and understanding on the pitch. Chelsea looked a bit shell-shocked, struggling to find their rhythm and get their key playmakers involved. As the half wore on, City just grew stronger. The second goal was a result of pure persistence, winning the ball back in a dangerous area. And then the clinical finish. It just showed their hunger. Chelsea had a few moments, a couple of but City's defense was rock solid, closing down threats before they could even develop. Going into halftime 2-0 up, City were in complete control. And you had to wonder what Chelsea could possibly do to turn this around. The tactical battle was fascinating, with City's manager clearly gains his instructions spot on, neutralizing Chelsea's strengths while amplifying his own team's coming out for the second half. You expected a big reaction from Chelsea, and to their credit, they tried to force the issue. They made a few adjustments, trying to get more bodies forward and put City under pressure. For a while, it seemed like they might get back into it. They were holding more possession and creating a bit more in the final third. But City's resilience is something else. They absorbed the pressure, stayed organized, and always looked dangerous on the counter. That's the mark of a champion side. Ability to manage the game even when you're not dominated the ball. Then came the killer blow. The third goal for City really sealed the deal. It was a rapid counterattack that caught Chelsea completely off guard. The speed, the movement, the unselfish pass, and the calm finish it was just devastating. At 3-2-0, the game was effectively over. Chelsea did manage to pull one back late on, a well-to-con consolation goal that gave their traveling fans something to cheer about. But it was too little, too late. The damage was already done. City saw the final minutes with professional ease, passing the ball around and running down the clock. So, a 3-1 win for Manchester City, and a deserved one at that. They were superior in every department. Tactically, technically, and in terms of sheer desire. For Chelsea, it is a tough result to take and a trip back to the drawing board to figure out what went wrong. What did you all think of the game? Who was your man of the match? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. I read every single one. Thanks so much for watching. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more match analysis like this. See you in the next one. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. You know, it's a little sad to see so many of you watch the videos, but forget to subscribe. Come on. Take a second and hit that subscription button right now. It really helps the channel grow. And I appreciate every single one of you. All right, let's get into today's big game. We've got a classic Premier League clash coming up. Newcastle United versus Crystal Palace. The match is set for today, January 4th, kicking off at 6 p.m. East Africa time, which is 3 p.m. UTC. So, set your reminders and get ready for some serious action. Now, looking at the recent history between these two clubs, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, especially for Palace fans. The last time these teams met at St. James' Park was back on April 16th, and it was a day to forget for the Eagles. Newcastle absolutely demolished them with a stunning 5-0 victory. That was a statement win for the Magpies at a real low point for Palace. Before that, back in November 2024, the match at Selhurst Park was a much tighter affair, ending in a 1-1 draw. Both teams had to settle for a point, showing that on their day, they can be very evenly matched. But if we rewind a bit further to April 2024, it was Crystal Palace who came out on top at home with a solid 2-0 win. This just goes to show how unpredictable these fixtures can be. And let's not forget the match in October 2023, where Newcastle again dominated at home with a 4-0 thrashing. It seems like St. James Park is a real fortress for Newcastle when Palace comes to visit. The home advantage is clearly a huge factor in this fixture. So, where do these two teams stand right now in the Premier League table? As of today, January 4th, 2026, Crystal Palace is sitting in 11th place. They've played 19 games and have gathered 27 points. They're having a decent season, hovering around mid-table, and they'll be looking to push further up into the top half. On the other hand, Newcastle United is currently in 14th position. They've also played 19 games, but are just 1 point behind Palace with 26 points. For a club with their ambitions, being in the lower half of the table is not where they want to be. They'll be desperate for a win today to climb up their rankings and get their season back on track. This sets up a fascinating encounter. Crystal Palace will be out for revenge after that 5-0 humiliation last year. They'll want to prove they can compete, especially away from home. For Newcastle, this is a must-win game. They need to leverage that home crowd, repeat their past successes against Palace at St. James Park, and start building some momentum. With just 1 point separating them in the table, the stakes are incredibly high. A win for Palace could see them solidify their mid-table position, while a win for Newcastle could see them leapfrog Palace and several other teams. It's not just about the 3 points. It's about bragging rights, confidence, and league position. So, what are your predictions for the match? Will Newcastle's home advantage prove decisive once again? Or will Crystal Palace finally break the curse at St. James Park and get their revenge? Let me know your thoughts and score predictions in the comments below. I'll be reading through them all. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future content. Enjoy the game, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's sad to see that a huge number of you who watch these videos aren't subscribed. If you enjoy the content, please take a second to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It really helps the channel grow and ensures you never miss out on the latest football news and match analyses. Thanks a bunch. Now, let us dive into one of the most chaotic and thrilling matches of recent memory. Manchester United's incredible 6-2 thrashing of Leeds United at Old Trafford back on December 20th, 2020. This wasn't just a game, it was a statement and a piece of Premier League history. The match exploded into life from the very first whistle. Scott McTominay, of all people, became the hero of the hour. In an unbelievable start, he scored not 1, but 2 goals within the first 3 minutes. His first was a powerful low drive from outside the box, and the second was a clever run and finish. This made him the first player in Premier League history to score a brace that early in a match. Old Trafford was absolutely rocking, and Leeds just didn't know what hit them. But the onslaught didn't stop there. Manchester United were relentless. At the 20-minute mark, Bruno Fernandes got in on the act, firing home to make it 3-0. It was a classic. Based counter-attack that completely ripped through the Leeds defense. Just before halftime, defender Victor Lindelöf added a 4th, tapping in from a corner. It was pure dominance. To their credit, Leeds never gave up their attacking philosophy. Liam Cooper managed to pull one back with a header from a corner just before the break, giving them a glimmer of hope. But the second half saw more of the same from United. Daniel James, using his blistering pace, scored in the 66th minute to make it 5-1. Then, Bruno Fernandes converted a penalty at 70 minutes, grabbing his second of the game and United's 6th. Stuart Dallas scored a beautiful consolation goal for Leeds with a stunning long-range curler. But it was far too little, far too late. The final score, A staggering 6-2. Let's look at the stats because they tell a fascinating story. Despite Leeds having 59% possession and completing more it was Manchester United's clinical finishing that made all the difference. United had a massive 26 shots in total, with 14 of them on target. Leeds had 17 shots, but only for trouble the keeper. This shows how effective United were on the counter. They created 6 big chances and were just ruthless in front of goal. The expected goals, or XG, was 2.5 for United and 1.8 for Leeds, which highlights just how much United overperformed their chances. A true sign of elite finishing on the day. This game was an instant classic, a wild end-to-end spectacle with a combined 43 shots. It was a throwback to the historic rivalry between the two clubs and was rightly hailed as one of the games of the season for Manchester United fans. It was a day of pure joy and a showcase of what the team was capable of under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. For Leeds, it was a harsh lesson in the realities of the Premier League, but their commitment to attacking football, even when they were being hammered, earned them a lot of respect. What are your memories of this crazy game? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, and please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into football's greatest moments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. What a game. What a comeback. What a moment for Arsenal. You are not going to want to miss a single second of this one. Before we dive into the madness, I see you there, watching and just about to click away. Come on, don't leave me hanging. It only takes a second to hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon. It means the world to the channel and ensures you'll never miss out on incredible football moments like this one. So go on, do it now. I'll wait. All right. Thank you so much. Let's get into the action. The Amorites was absolutely rocking, but just seconds into the game, silence. Bournemouth, right from the kickoff, surges forward, a long ball, a bit of chaos, and Philip Billing is there to slot it home. 9 seconds on the clock. It was the second fastest goal in Premier League history, and a complete shock to the system for the Gunners. You could feel the tension in the stadium. Arsenal tried to respond, pushing forward, creating chances. With Odegaard pulling the strings, Benetto in the Bournemouth goal was having one of those days, making save after save. The first half was all about frustration for the home side as they went into the break. A goal down, with a mountain to climb. The second half starts, and Arsenal are desperate for an equalizer. They're throwing everything at the Bournemouth defense. But then, disaster strikes. Again, a corner for Bournemouth in the 57th minute. And Marco Sinisi reaches his highest, completely unmarked. Two-headed in. 2-0 to the visitors. The Emirates is stunned. You could hear a pin drop. It felt like the title charge was starting to crumble right there. Is this it? Is the pressure finally getting to them? Arteta looks on, trying to rally his troops, making substitutions, looking for a spark from anywhere. And a spark is exactly what he got. Just 5 minutes later, in the 62nd minute, Emile Smith-Rowe, fresh on the pitch, nods a header back across goal. And who's there to meet it? Thomas Partey. He bundles it in from close range. 2-1. Suddenly, there's a flicker of hope. The crowd roars back to life. The belief is back. Now, it's all Arsenal. Wave after wave of attack. The pressure is relentless. Then, another substitute makes a huge impact. Ben White, of all people, finds himself on the end of a cross from Rice. Nelson and volleys it home. It's his first ever goal for Arsenal. And what a time to get it. The keeper claws it out. But goal line technology confirms it crossed the line. It's 2-2. In the 70th minute, the Emirates is absolutely electric. From here on out, it's a siege. Arsenal are camped in Bournemouth's half. Chance after chance goes begging. The clock is ticking down. We head into stoppage time. 6 minutes are added on. Is there enough time for a winner? It feels like it's slipping away. The final seconds are ticking down. We are in the 97th minute. The final kick of the game. A corner is cleared, but only as far as Rice Nelson on the edge of the box. He takes a touch, sets himself, and unleashes an absolute rocket with his weaker left foot. The ball flies through a sea of players and smashes into the back of the net. Pandemonium! This stadium erupts. Players, staff, fans, everyone goes absolutely wild. Rice Nelson, the hero, with a goal that'll be talked about for years. An unbelievable, unforgettable comeback. From 2-0 down to win 3-2 at the death. That is the stuff of champions. What a match. Moments like these are why we love this game. If you enjoyed that roller coaster of emotions as much as I did, please smash that like button and drop a comment below with your reaction to that insane Nelson winner. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you're always here for the next big moment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're throwing it back to a truly classic Premier League encounter. The date is February 4th, 2007. The place is White Hart Lane, Tottenham Hotspur, managed by Martin Jol, are hosting Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United. This was a pivotal season for United, chasing their first league title in 4 years. And this match was a massive statement of intent. Let's set the scene. United were top of the table, but Chelsea, under a certain Jose Mourinho, were breathing down their necks. Every single point was crucial. Spurs, on the other hand, had a talented squad with players like Dimitar Berbatov, Robbie Keane and Aaron Lennon. They were always a tricky opponent, especially at home. United lined up with a formidable team. Van der Sar in goal, a backline of Neville, Ferdinand, Vidic and Evra. The midfield was pure class with Scholes, Carrick, Giggs and a young electrifying Cristiano Ronaldo. Up top, the deadly duo of Wayne Rooney and Henrik Larsson. The first half was a tense affair, a real chess match between two good sides. Spurs had their moments, and United were probing, looking for an opening. But right on the stroke of half-time, the breakthrough came. A corner was whipped in, and who else but Cristiano Ronaldo rose highest to power, a header past Paul Robinson. It was a classic Ronaldo goal, showcasing his incredible athleticism and timing. Going into the break, 1-0 up was a massive psychological boost for United. The second half started, and any hope Spurs had of a comeback was quickly extinguished. Just 2 minutes after the restart, Nemanja Vidic, the Serbian wall, made it 2-0. A free kick from the left was floated in, and Vidic, unmarked, planted a firm header into the back of the net. It was a simple goal, but it highlighted the defensive frailties that Spurs were struggling with and United's brilliance from set pieces. At this point, you could see the confidence flowing through the red shirts. And then it became the Paul Scholes show. On 54 minutes, the Ginger Prince reminded everyone of his genius. Picking up the ball about 25 yards from goal, he took a touch and then unleashed an absolutely thunderous strike. The ball flew like a rocket, swerving past the despairing dive of Robinson and crashing into the net.